Prince Charles used his Easter address yesterday to pay tribute to the millions of Ukrainians forced to flee their homes following Russia's invasion, saying he was heartbroken by their plight.
Well, that came as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, along with their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, we can see them there, led members of the royal family for their annual Easter Sunday service at Windsor Castle.
Well, joining us now is author and former Home Office Minister Norman Baker. Good morning to you, Norman. How was your Easter?
Morning. Very well, thank you very much. Very good.
Yeah, Prince William.
That was brief. Did you have roast lamb? Did you have an Easter egg? Go to church?
Well, to be honest with you, I did quite a lot of work, and I also, on Sundays, run 3 radio shows for my local FM station, music shows. So I was doing that as normal yesterday.
Good, so it was busy. The Queen didn't have the Easter that we anticipated. She wasn't at the Easter service. This perhaps is setting a bit of a gear change for the capacity she's got to do public arrangements. Missing Easter would have been quite painful for her.
Well, look, I mean, the Queen is clearly not very well and suffering, I think, from post-COVID symptoms. She is 95. She's 96. I think it's on Thursday this week. That's a very severe age, and it's not surprising she can't do what she used to do. But we have, in fact, now got a regency in all but name. The Queen is doing very little in terms of public engagements. We're talking about light duties. I understand, in fact, that those light duties are very light indeed. And I don't think she's been out really, apart from on one occasion since October. So what's happening there is effectively that we now have Prince Charles and Prince William stepping up and undertaking the Queen's duties, and that's where we're at.
I'm wondering why they haven't just made it official and made him regent.
Well, I mean, it's a complicated matter making someone regent, and I don't think that would be something that the Queen would personally favour. I mean, she took an oath in 1952 to serve her country, through thick and thin, as it were, and I think she would see regency as a reneging of that premise. So, there's no need to go down that particular route. I mean, we have an arrangement where the Queen is still head of state, and other members of the royal family are stepping up to fill the gap and undertake works which she would have done before. When it comes to future events, I think we'll see more of Prince Charles and Prince William and a bit less of the Queen for the time being.
William and Kate seem to be sort of used as the safe option. How risky is this time for the monarchy?
They are the safe option because quite clearly we've seen a lot of damage to the royal family in recent times. We've seen the whole Prince Andrew saga, which I think has done immense damage to the reputation of the royal family. We've seen Harry and Meghan, who are effectively semi-detached, behaving like John and Yoko over in America. William and Kate are seen as a safe option, but it is a risky time for the royal family. There's tremendous respect for the Queen personally from all sections of society, including those who are Republican-minded. On a personal basis, I think she's done her best. That loyalty and respect doesn't, I'm afraid, transfer to Prince Charles, who comes with baggage to the throne. At the moment, he's being investigated, him and his foundation, by the police, as a consequence, actually, of my reference to the police, for the allegation that his foundation's been involved in selling honours, contrary to the 1925 Honours Act. And, of course, there's a lot more baggage that Prince Charles has got as well. There's spider letters when he was to interfere with ministers and go beyond his duties and so on. So there's a great deal that Prince Charles has, which I think the Queen doesn't have. And I think it will be a difficult time for the royal family when the Queen goes.
But he is still seen in a slightly more favourable light than maybe 20 years ago.
Well, I think I'm not sure that's entirely true, to be honest with you. I think that Camilla's probably seen in a more favourable light than she was 20 years ago. And remember that there was a promise made at that point that she would not be Queen, that she would be Princess Consort. Now, clearly, Prince Charles is very keen that that should not be the case, and the Queen herself has given some sort of endorsement to Camilla that she should be Queen, but that's contrary to what was said 20 years ago. And remember that the context then was outrage with Prince Charles for the way he had treated Princess Diana, and outrage that he was carrying on an affair at the same time as getting married. So that's still there in the public memory, and that still has to resonate, I think, with people, and will make it difficult for Charles. Another mark on his ledger, which is difficult for him to deal with.
This weekend, Harry and Meghan have been in town. The analysis from the Times supplement, it was a very slick flying visit to Europe. Was it a success?
Well, I think so. I mean, Harry was in his own territory. The Invictus Games is something which he began and which I think he feels very much at home with. I think he genuinely wants to help people in that situation. And he probably felt it'd be a very easy event. The fact that it took place in The Hague rather than in the UK was probably easier for him. I have to say that his alleged concerns about security in the UK were frankly a bit bizarre. I would have thought, frankly, that someone is safer in the UK than they are in the US when people have got guns in every corner.
Norman, just before we let you go, you are a former Home Office Minister. We were just wondering what your thoughts were on the government's relationship with Rwanda, this new programme that they're bringing in.
Well, I have to say, I think it's inhumane and I think it's un-British in nature. We've been very open to the Ukrainians coming in, but it seems that people from other areas of the world who are subject to torture and who are fleeing oppression are not to be welcomed in the same way. Look, I mean, there's a system in place for a long time where people who come over here are, in a sense, innocent until proved guilty. They are assessed when they come over here. If they are genuine asylum seekers, genuine refugees, then they are brought into the country and allowed to stay. If they are not, they need to be removed. And that's the way it should work. And the problem that has occurred in recent years has been the failure of the Home Office to deal with people quickly. If people were processed very quickly and that basic fact established, whether they are refugees or economic migrants, then that would take a lot of the heat out of the matter. That's the answer, by the way, to Priti Patel, who says, what's the alternative? But what she's put forward, frankly, is to remove people in a rather callous way to a country which has got a poor human rights record. It doesn't make me very proud to be British this morning.
Norman, really good to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us. That is author and former Home Office Minister Norman Baker joining us on GB News.